I figure most of you know Jagex has tried to enter the mobile app scene quite a few times. A few examples are Bounce Down, Undercroft, the abandoned Jagex News app, the Companions app team has been disbanded, and the now cancelled Idle Adventures game. What you may not know is Jagex has actually considered multiple times to bring RuneScape 3 and Old School to phones and tablets, and they've most likely made some attempts to do so. Now the question is, where is RuneScape Mobile? So the very first time I can find any sort of public announcement of a mobile version of RuneScape is from July 5th, 2013. There may have been some talk about it before this, but I can't seem to find it if so. Anyway, this article was originally published about 17 days before the launch of RuneScape 3. In this interview, the former CEO of Jagex, Mark Gerhard, talks about the future of RuneScape, saying that there are plans to bring it to mobile. For those that remember, RuneScape 3 also brought along the release of the HTML client. Gerhard says that they wanted to bring the game to mobile through the use of this HTML client. In order to get this working, they would obviously have to change the interface for mobile devices, but you get the idea. Lastly, not only would the app be for Android, it would work for iOS as well. Now, this all sounds great, right? Not only do they have the technology to make this client, they're willing to do so. Well, everything seemed great until they ran into a pretty major issue. The client simply didn't run efficiently on most systems. The current technology that most players have wasn't fast enough to actually run the client on desktop or mobile devices. This led to the client later being replaced by NXT, a client coded in C++. This was about where the public life of RuneScape on mobile devices ended for quite a long time. I am 99% sure it was later mentioned at RuneFest, but I seriously can't find any pictures or data on this, and I've spent hours trying to find it. The only thing I can find is this Reddit post talking about it. Other than all of this, not too much major news has popped up about RuneScape Mobile. Every once in a while, Jagex sends out a survey, and for the past few years, RuneScape Mobile has been included in them. This is really the last bit of evidence we have that a mobile version of RS3 may come in the future. Plus, about 4 months ago, a user on Reddit posted a screenshot of one of the surveys that they received. In summary, the question basically asks if you'd be interested in a smartphone and tablet version of RuneScape, but instead of it being normal RuneScape 3, it would be a new game closely associated with the PC version. It would be free to play and would include microtransactions. There's also this screenshot at the bottom of the email showing what appears to be Lumbridge. I don't know if this is an actual screenshot of what the game would have looked like, but chances are it could be. But it seems as if this project was scrapped, as about 20 days ago another user posted a picture of a survey, which asks if they'd like to play RuneScape on mobile, but specifically states it would be the same as the PC version. The email also mentions it would include an old school version, but we'll get to that later. So, as for RuneScape 3, is a mobile version coming? To be honest, I don't really know. They seem to be very secretive about this project if it does really exist. There's really just not enough information to make a solid guess. Perhaps it could be that next-gen thing that got leaked on a RuneScape livestream a couple months ago, but who knows. I hope they do get a mobile port up and running, as it would bring quite a few players over in my opinion. So now this brings us on over to Old School. Luckily for me, the Old School team developers have been a lot more open about this project, and finding information was not nearly as difficult. So the first time this project ever surfaced was on April 1st, 2016. Mudkieran posted it to the subreddit along with a few screenshots. Now keep in mind that April 1st is also April Fool's Day, so most people would just brush this off as a joke unless they check the comments. ModMattK made a post saying, "The irony is, we are in the early stages of seeing if a mobile version of OSRS is viable." Now once again you would think this could be a joke, as it was posted on an April Fool's thread. Well, luckily for us, it wasn't, and in a few other threads he states about the same thing. For example, this thread posted on April 25th of last year, he once again says they're looking into it. Instead, this time he gives us a bit more info, saying it would be Android only and there would be no microtransactions. Just a few days later, it is talked about once again, but on the weekly Q&A. This time ModMattK explains even more, saying first they'll need to get the project approved by the higher-ups, and then start hiring from outside the team. He then goes on to say conversations about it are going very well and the project is being taken seriously. I'm assuming the project did end up getting approved by the higher-ups, because a month later Jagex started doing some more hiring. They were looking for Android developers with strong Java experience, and experience working on networked and MMO games for a special project. Now this was about 11 months ago, so I could no longer see the exact job pages anymore, but I think it's safe to assume they were hiring for this project, although I could be wrong. Anyway, ever since these events transpired, not much talk has happened about the project. I haven't seen any more threads asking about it with JMod replies. Even a post from 2 months ago with 749 upvotes didn't get a single JMod reply. But this is about all the information we have so far. So do I personally believe Old School Mobile is still being worked on? I'm gonna have to say yes, I do think it's still being worked on. Reason behind this is because they don't talk about it at all except for those email surveys. If the project was scrapped, you'd figure they would announce something saying it was. It's pretty unlikely they would leave everyone in the dark like this. Instead, I feel as if it's still being actively developed and it's being kept a secret. Perhaps those major engine changes they said are coming in the next few months will make OSRS Mobile a reality. Then again, this is just a guess. So what do you think? Will Old School or RS3 ever get a mobile version? Leave your thoughts in the comments below.